The App Store is no stranger to controversy.
Side loading is prohibited.
Digital Markets Act.
30%.
30%.
30%. 30% commission on app purchases.
Walled garden.
94% of internet usage happens on a smartphone, compared to only 62% on a computer. So if you aren't developing for mobile, you're missing out on a third of the world. I mean, it's a catch-22, right? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, not exactly. You can take matters into your own hands and avoid App Store barriers while still gaining from the benefits of the ecosystem, and all with a tool that's been around for over 30 years, the World Wide Web. But it's not as simple as implementing web checkout. You're still gonna need an app, and then getting the two to work in concert requires setting up the right steps that still follow compliance and privacy laws. So where do you begin? Well, let's break down 3 strategies to sell mobile apps that'll set you up for success and put some of this App Store controversy to bed. The information that we're sharing in this episode is brought to you by our web monetization guide. Sign up below to get a complete view of this topic and get access to the tools that we don't have time for in this video. The first and most common web monetization strategy is a web-to-app funnel, where you use ads to drive a user to sign up and pay on the web before directing them to download the app. I've been trying to get back into reading lately, and I recently got an ad for Blinkist, an app that summarizes and recommends a ton of books based on your reading preferences. When I go to sign up on Blinkist's website, I answer a few questions, pay directly on my desktop, and then get directed to download the app. Now, I'm monetized online while enjoying the literary knowledge on Blinkist's mobile app. The next strategy is the inverse, a web store strategy. This is where you acquire users through the App Store, but they transact through your web portal, so you avoid any platform fees. This strategy is popular amongst gaming companies like Zynga, where they incentivize players who downloaded their app to purchase on the web store through promotions, discounts, and VIP items. The App Store makes it difficult to do this, since you can't actually advertise your alternative store within the app. This strategy requires a bit of community building and trust as you guide your audience from the app to your web store without any blatant messaging. The last strategy is a hybrid approach. This occurs when your product offers both a web-based and a mobile-based experience. Let's look at Spotify as an example. When I sign up for Spotify on the web, I make the transaction there, and then I'm prompted with the option to download the app. And when I sign up on mobile, I'm actually not even allowed to complete the premium transaction within the app. I have to sign up on the web in order to purchase. And as you can see with Spotify, you still can't utilize blatant messaging. You can implement any of these strategies yourself with enough code and elbow grease. Vitaly, CEO of Adapty, has experience here, and he's also had a hand in creating a tool that does a lot of this for you.
Yeah, my name is Vitaly. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Adapty. We've recently launched a FunnelFox. It's a platform that makes web-to-app easy. If you have a mobile app, normally what you do is you advertise it somewhere your user sees your ad, clicks, and then it goes directly to the App Store or Google Play. Alternative approach could be that instead of landing your customers directly to your app, what you do is you build a super simple website. Even without having a full web version of your app, you can build a web funnel.
Let me introduce you to my award-winning yoga app, Breathin' with Benny. I want to try to monetize on the web. It would make sense to start creating targeted ads on social platforms, popular health websites, or other online groups. It's important to demonstrate my app's value in a concise and clear way to get the highest quality, longest lasting customers. Once the user clicks my ad, I'm driving them straight towards the onboarding process. Here's where you can take full advantage of the web's benefits. With the web, you have a lot more freedom of attribution, in addition to avoiding App Store fees.
The problem is the attribution. Apple limits the amount of information you can send to the ad network. It ruins your user acquisition. In the web funnel, all this action is happening in a browser, in the web, so the platform does not control it. You ask your users different questions, like what's your gender, what's your age, if it's a fitness app, what's your goal. The more data about the customer, like first-party data you have, the better it works.
Now you have better data for your advertising campaigns, and better data to provide value. When your user creates their account, they have a personalized product that's tailored to their specific preferences. They're also more incentivized to create the account, knowing that there is a customized experience in store for them. Also, it's great churn insurance, since now you have details to remarket and win them back later down the line. Now, privacy is always important, and your customers are trusting you. This isn't a strategy that should be abused, and you must follow all privacy and compliance regulations. Next comes the step that's quintessential in avoiding App Store fees, the paywall. Even though you have a lot more control here, there are still challenges. Users aren't in an environment as familiar as the App Store. This means content and UI are extremely important. Showing social proof, FAQs, and localizing your pricing gives your customers assurances that they're in the right place. Finally, you need to get users to actually download the app. The potential for drop-offs here is high, so make this as easy as possible, like the use of QR codes and carefully laid out instructions. To help smooth out the process even further, consider deep links where users are already logged into the app upon download, rather than having to remember their info and sign in themselves. Hopefully this all sounds straightforward, but web funnels aren't something that can be completed overnight. Although the benefits are clear, there are a ton of moving parts that involve a lot of time and money.
When you want to build a web funnel, it needs to be optimized for in-app browsers. And the second challenge is a data challenge. Like, you need to somehow glue your data, glue it with the attribution, just make these pipelines reliable.
Building all this in-house can require up to 6 months of work, a slew of developers, and an entirely new web stack team. Your funnel also needs continuous optimization, with development cycles taking up time year after year. Perhaps use a tool like FunnelFox. FunnelFox can help you here to handle the hard stuff and help manage your funnel for you so that you can focus on other areas of your business. Building infrastructure can also be a complex burden that requires a lot of time and money.
Apple does everything for you. Yeah, you need to pay 30% commission, but Apple does everything for you.
If you opt to handle payments yourself, now you're going to be in charge of complicated taxes, chargebacks, localized payments, and even strict regulations. It's an overwhelming amount of work added to your plate.
When you're into the wild in web, you need to do all these things yourself. Like, you need to control the chargeback rate, the refund rate. You need to issue a refund yourself to the customer. You need to handle support.
To make things easier and avoid all of that together, utilize a merchant of record. With a merchant of record like Paddle, we handle everything from chargebacks and refunds, collecting and remitting sales tax, and adhering to PCI regulations. It's all the benefits of the App Store's infrastructure with a lot more pricing options and much lower fees. Web monetization is a super expansive topic, so for more, make sure you check out our full web monetization guide, where we talk with experts and highlight examples of companies doing amazing work with web funnels. I'm Ben Hillman, and I'll see you next time.